Hello there, survivors. This is Carithwin from Myth Tracker, and this is the WarZ, and this is the Survivor series. As of a few days ago, it's now the 14th of December 2012, they have put in a little patch which reduces the lifespan of items dropped by a dead character from 30 minutes to 10 minutes. They have increased the number of zombies and spawns for the weekend, and put a crosshairs in third person when I think you're going to aim. What I'm going to do is use this character as well to show you, hopefully, how to try and survive without anything. Right, she died. Let's log in and see how bad the zombie spawns are, because I haven't actually been in yet since they changed the amount of zombies. So I just haven't changed back to that. Try and find a decent amount of players. That'll do. Well, with a lot of the zombies, I've seen a couple of videos out there, and there's quite a few. We were having problems, a friend and I, with connection issues. They kept closing the servers after 25 seconds. And that's when the patch came in. Suddenly we came in and we didn't know it was on. And we're at Echo Compound. And it was interesting. We're inundated by zombies. We didn't know that. And I thought it was fun. It was a lot of fun. Excuse me a minute. Right, we're in. We need to check where we are. Right, yes. As you can tell, I died at the weather station, and I've spawned near the weather station again. Because yeah, there it is. Look, there's a crosshairs there. Right, the weather station's up there. I don't think I'll be able to get much from up there, but I will check. The number of zombies I've been seeing on some videos running around and getting them away from where you want them probably seems the best way of doing it. A lot of people say it's impossible to survive now as being a base character. But we will see. And Hammer Point will as well. They've been asked for lots more zombies. They might have gone a little bit too far one way. Would be interesting to see how many have gone for. At least that crosshair is not super accurate. I'm going to get up there and there's be a couple of hundred. There's one already there. where you'd see a line of them strung out down there. I'm going to save my sprint. It's a shame I'm not in the northern area, because it'd be easier to go from camp to camp. A bit better. Goodness me. Yep, there's a conga line. Right. One thing you can do, if you haven't got a weapon out, you can try and blend in from a distance by crouching down. And lying down. There's some players from a distance. Gosh, that guy was observant. Try and break LOS. Line of sight. Yep, there we go. Break it for a certain number of seconds, they'll stop running from to you. As long as they can't start, keep on hearing you. This could be very interesting. Yes, blending in's better at night time. Anyway, because if you lie down, you look like a prone zombie, as long as you don't move around. And creeping like this slows you down, reduces your... Is that person gone? No. Reduces your silhouette. So when it gets darker, people mistake you more for a zombie, hopefully. Unless you've got a really big backpack on. Also, another thing which makes you jump out to other players is hats. Wearing a helmet's not too bad because it still looks like some of the zombie hats you see around. Cowboy hats I love to wear, but from a distance, they're very noticeable. And all but the really dark face masks do stand out a mile, especially because most of them are white. something I don't really need at the moment. I don't know what that didn't auto-equip. Oh. There we go. Rare item. Nice. And that's the kind of tuner I tried to get ages ago, I think. I'm sure of it. Could have done with a melee weapon though. But if you do have to run to get rid of a lot of zombies, like we're probably going to have to do, it's best to try and get them away from where you're trying to go. Oh, bandages. You don't want to block your only route back in. Also, another thing which makes you stick out like a sore thumb, these vests. People will shoot you just for wearing a vest. So you can see it's more involved if you start with nothing, so it's better to try and stockpile weapons, try and do raids for food and weapons. I'm just keep going back to this safe zone and get at least 5 or 6 melee weapons before you start going out doing other things. There is a bit of uproar at the moment as well because one of the things they have done is nerfed bandages. For those who are not initiated into the online culture, a nerf is where they actually make less powerful items that people don't like. Well, they don't like the outcome. Oh, wonderful. Sounds like it doesn't move there. Uh-oh. Let's try and drag them away. When you're trying to lose them, don't sprint. Gosh, I've got a veritable horde. I've got all but one. Let's try and get these. One, two, three. Gosh. 4. Right. About 4 or 5 seconds. of line of sight blocking. Oh, they don't. Oh. Well, so if they're not far away from their spawn points, they seem to gravitate back. Which is bad for. Oh no, no, there's quite a few there still. This is definitely a big challenge. Gosh. Oh. Hammer. Right, that's it. Start taking 1 or 2 out. Oh, there's a couple there. Ah, okay. The hammer was very lucky. Come on. Oh, they have been coming back actually. It's almost as if you break what's called breaking the spawn. If you take out a few, you can stagger how they come back into the game. It's called breaking a spawn. Which is easier in this game. Gosh, go on, get down. Wasn't too bad. Could have been better. Right, yes, that's one tactic you'll have to use. Learn to train the zombies. Training them is when you actually grab a few of them and take them off into directions that basically you want them to be, to get them away from the stuff you want, especially when you haven't got the items. And I can see being inundated, going into a city, is probably very unadvisable now in under 2 people. Maybe there's too many zombies now. If they took half the ones they added, removed them, so it's only about 150% of what they had in previous patches. Excuse me a moment. Right. I think it's time to actually talk about other players, because that was the blending in section and a little bit of trying to get rid of some zombies and some of the new patch details. The next bit is new players. Whether you kill people or not is up to you. I personally don't like to kill people just for the sake of killing. It's not my playstyle, and I don't find it moralistically good. This game will try and change you. It really will. It will change you into a cynical, paranoid person. I don't want to become that person. I used to be that person, and I'm trying not to. So you need to recognise people. If they have hands down like that, small backpack, no hat, no vest, got a good chance that they will be what's called a new spawn. Well, actually a respawn, because they'll have no items, no weapon, no food, no nothing. They're running around with a torch. Or they could actually be a new spawn, actually, because they could have put the torch away. But at a distance, they are no threat whatsoever. Now the next one is looking like that, running around slightly like that. Baseball bats are easy to see. Hammer, any kind of thing held in your hand, you can see more at a distance. They're a little bit more of a threat because they're carrying around a melee weapon, so they're getting ready for action. If they've got zombies around them, they're just trying to defend themselves. If they have a rifle or a shotgun out, you know they want to do damage, more to players than anyone else. My personal psychology on it is, if they wear a mask of any kind, they are trying to cover up their natural self and put on a persona which isn't them. So that would increase the chance of them becoming bandits. Armor. Anyone with armor? They've been around for a while. I was very lucky to find some. They might not be armed unless they've got a gun out. Not always actively hostile, but people will kill you for the armor. On retrospect of doing a bit of research, it does actually help you, but not much. It gives you a little chance to survive. Some people run around with bandages out, binos. If they're carrying bandages, they've probably got the quick button slotted, so you've got more chance of them actually being able to jump back to a weapon, but they want to look like they're not offensive whatsoever. Binoculars, yep, Same way, same thing, they can quickly switch back. Zombie there on the road. So it's up to you what you do. It's an open game. I personally try not to kill new spawns. Sometimes it's unavoidable. Gosh. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. See? I'm just over there. Heard him out of my headphones. There we go. Well, let's try that. Let's use a crosshair. See how that works. Not as well. This is where I find loads of them at the front. Oh, she's over there. Just wonder what it's going to be like when I get over there. The number of zombies in rural areas. This is a built-up area. I think someone's been here. As I said before, try not to jump too much. It makes you jump out of the crowd. What another good thing about trying to survive is keep an eye on the number of people on the server. It goes up and down a lot. It does, it goes up and down very rapidly in higher peak times. Server hoppers come on all the time. So it can jump up 10-15 people and then disappear again within a number of minutes. You really have to address that issue. Ooh, excuse me for that. Right, one of the things I'm going to extend from how to shoot people, why to shoot people, sorry, is how do you know the bandits? Well, at the moment you don't. If you say hello or friendly in main chat, you get a better chance of knowing friendly people when they actually shout back. If you see someone in an area, have your proximity chat ready, and you might be able to try and find some shout friendly. Oh good, M16. Got a chance of surviving now. Oh, a bigger backpack would be nice. Yes, proximity chat is always good to have ready, even though it's hard to get activated. My word, 2? And both full of bullets. The third one. This is ridiculous. Pull this guy back. Try and pull them back to alleyways. Good you don't have the crosshair in first person. Right, at the moment you can have never too many bandages. With the amount of zombies out there are, might be wise to have a granola bar up in your quick slots. Then you have a chance to quickly stop sprinting and gain some endurance back quickly. This area isn't as bad. Unless someone's cleared them away. No bags. Another quandary do I take? Take the bag of chips. I'll take the 9mm. Because I'm always super rare. Right, I definitely need that. Oh. Right, and I need to get back to a safe zone as soon as possible. I'm carrying too much good stuff now. So my gut instinct is saying, get out. Goodness me, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. There's the server jumpers in. So it's very dangerous now. Try and find a way out quickly. As you see then, just then it's actually changed. If you're worried about players, get your melee and ranged weapon. And quick change. What I need to do now is because I'm carrying so much good stuff, I need to get back to a safe zone and be safe, which means extra paranoia. Oh gosh. That's why someone's trained them all the way. That's going to be interesting. It's a lot more exciting with more zombies. It's not impossible. It just depends on where you spawn. Right, I need to find a nice covered area. See, look, server hoppers, they're coming in and out all the time. Right, try and plan my move. I am so far away from any kind of safe zone. What I'm thinking of doing is, following the road, the Route 1 round, try and go through the mountains and get up to Blue Ridge settlement. Though unfortunately I have no water. Can I tune it? Does give you back some liquid? Oh gosh. Right, if you have a weapon which can change rate of fire, like in the bottom right, A is full auto, which means when you press your button, it doesn't stop firing unless you release it or you run out of ammo. A single bullet is a single press or hold, will fire one shot. If you have 3 bullets, it will fire a burst, which means it'll fire 3 or 4 bullets per press of the mouse. The longer you hold it down, the longer the burst will be. It is possible to actually get a single shot off in burst or automatic mode by just being a quick mouse click. So that is not as accurate as that, but you have more external visual reference around. Right. Back to, do I shoot? If you see someone camping a hillside, yet again for those who aren't initiated in MMOs, camping is sitting on one spot and picking people off or loot in one area, if they do it regularly. That is frowned upon by the community. Granted, real snipers in real situations do that all the time, but we're not in real situations. People who do that are just there for kill or loot. So if you see someone sat there, watch them. Try not to get mistaken for a camper yourself. If they stay there for a while, they're probably not going to be observing you, especially if they're not turning around a lot. Because if you're led down, you can tell if they're looking round. Like that. So they've got their eyes on just one area. You know they're concentrating on just that point. They've got tunnel vision. And you can come up behind them, melee him, or shoot him in the back of the head with a pistol. You've probably got a chance that the bandit, or a person who's trying to become a bandit. The next situation is coming into a firefight. If you hear gunfire and you're brave enough to actually go into it, you've got it's equal chances whether you can actually use the confusion to your advantage. Also, you can end up running into both sides and getting shot. So it's distinctly up to you. Depends on your gear, what you've got, if you've got friends. Because if you're lucky, you can actually trap a group of players in between even one person with a pistol in your group. And you will absolutely decimate them. Because they'll probably end up panicking unless they've been training. Because people do train in games like this to become more disciplined, not panic at the first sight of a fight, and use tactics, especially TeamSpeak. That moves on to the next one. I want to speak about tactics. One of the biggest thing that new players don't do is they just stand there and shoot. What you do is shoot, shoot, stand and move. If you've got many trees around you, move to different cover. Shoot, shoot. Especially if you're actually not seen moving, you can really confuse them and think there's a group after them. But in a tree like this, you can move from the outer branch to the trunk, to the outer branch, to the trunk, to the outer branch, to the trunk, that side, that side, that side. Keep randomizing it, and their fire might not hit you as much. That's if you've only got that tree around. I need to go over this hill now. Melee weapons. Sneaking up behind someone who's having a firefight, or intent in one direction is good, because then you can cold cock them. If someone hits you once with a melee weapon and you've only got a melee weapon, back off. I tried to do the silly thing by actually attacking, unless it's a torch or a baseball bat. You've probably got, like if you use a hammer or a knife or an axe, you've probably got a chance of beating them. But if they hit you, it's better to back off. If you've got a weapon to change to, quick change to it. Unfortunately, blast them. But if you don't land the first, if it's melee versus melee, if you don't land the first blow, get out of there. You will not win, unless you're very, very lucky. The next thing people probably want to know is what weapon to use and when. As I was saying, your one slot is your primary. I tend to find that player versus player, they're very loud. Don't deal out much damage unless it's a shotgun. But the rate of fire they have is stupendous. You can go through ammo like nobody's business if you're on full auto. Use your 2, your secondary slot. I tend to use that for zombies, because melee is brilliant against zombies. Pistols, very quiet, they don't pull too many zombies from around you. Especially the Kruger 22, very quiet indeed. But at the last ditch attempt, if you haven't got no ammo in your one slot, your primary slot, or you haven't got anything in your primary slot, then that'll have to do if you're in a blind fight. Or just get out of there. Flight is sometimes a lot more preferable than fighting, because they can't shoot you if you're not there. You can try and bluff your way out. I've got nothing, dude. If you put your binoculars up, sometimes... There you go. Oh no, that's fine, because I've got my weapon out. If you put your binoculars up, sometimes it removes your primary from your backpack in mud. It really upsets people's day. You could even say, who's in Camp Splinter when I'm here? If someone says me, then you go around the back of the mountains and shoot them. But that's banditry. I'm not teaching banditry here. Another tactic you can use is, if you know there's someone firing at the zombies, or they fired at you, if you can get around their back, they'll still be trying to aim where you were, unless they're trained properly. And you've got a chance of getting up behind them and taking them out. Ranged weapons are definitely more preferable on player killing, or self-defense against sentients. Maybe that should be the title of the series. Self-defense against sentients. Self-defense against the dead. And also another good thing is, I could practice with my gun. There's 6 people on. I haven't got much chance of actually running into them, but you can do. Zero in the sights. Basically, try and fire. There is bullet drop, which means the further the bullet travels, and the faster the velocity, the more it droops. Sorry, the less the velocity, the more it droops. So as it goes further away, the bullet loses speed, loses kinetic energy, and can end up dropping down. This is more prevalent in sniper rifles. You won't get it really in automatic weapon fire or pistols, because their range isn't that great. It is possible to lead a target if they're running. If you fire just ahead of it, they will run into the bullet. The bullets do have travel time as well, but because of some of the distances, it's very short that the actual travel time is very, very quick. And what I'm doing is I'm checking to see if people are coming up behind me, because I'm actually very exposed here. I've got good colours to blend me in, but the movement I'm doing will shout out. See, I'm gonna get down. I'm going over the top. Once I've got over the ridgeline, go to crawl, get up, go a little bit more. I can start running. We're going to go around the peak. Instead of running over the top, got more chance of hiding myself running around this way. The only unfortunate thing is, when I go over this side, I'll be out of the shadow and into the sunlight. As you can see, I'm a lot easier to see now. I'm going to try and head over to that area there, and there's a hidden army camp with food and water. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to be a bit quiet now, get to where I need to go, and I'll get back to you when I get to the safe zone. One of the things I'd like to tell you is it's getting dark. Just looted that. Got what I needed and left the rest. I can't really risk putting anything else down because it's high quality loot. Antibiotics heal a lot more than bandages, so I really didn't want to drop one of those. I could have eaten all those, but I actually had my tin of tuna earlier. And now what I'm doing is I'm going to skirt around up to the Blue Ridge settlement. In the Blue Ridge the mountain. I'm very visible from down there. As I said, people seldom do look up. When they do, if you're dark against light, on the light side, they'll see you more. Especially if you just pop your head up over there. Good thing about third person is you can see things over the ridge before your character pops over. Really glad they made all the underwear black. I'm near a place called Echo Compound now. It's camped a lot by server jumpers to try and claim really good loot. That is because one of the rifles, sniper rifles, a blazer, has more chance of spawning there. At least also being this far up, you can see people coming at you. And that is a benefit. So sometimes it's better to be out in the open. Especially if you've got a M16. If they've got a sniper rifle, you're in trouble. It's almost a bit when you look down the sights of a sniper rifle, just like that, unless you hold your breath and then it goes back again. You gotta wait a few seconds to be able to recharge it. Very pretty though. So, must be autumn. Camp Splint just sorry, Echo Compound is just down there. May as well cut across here. If you're skilled enough, you can actually jump over the top of that roof to the side of that bottom part of the L and camp off there and come back in. Nothing can get you there unless on one of the videos seen a dev's camping there, getting server jumpers. Camping server jumpers isn't so bad as actually camping new spawns. So it does have its uses. But to try and deter people from doing that. I must admit, it's absolutely beautiful up here. Right, there's the shadow. Try and keep to the shadows. Every tactic has a flaw. There's no tactic which is foolproof unless you're cheating. One thing I want to actually mention is grouping with friends. If you group with friends, try and invite them into a clan. Because clan members, when they're close, shooting at, and when you get close and run over them, it'll tell you their name, so you know who they are. If you don't do that, you have to make sure you know who you're shooting at, what your other people look like. A lot of people tend to go for the same hats, same model, or they have commands that on TeamSpeak they say prone now. So if they say that, get down immediately, or duck down, or look up and down for nodding, because your character does nod. Now I'm having to come out of the mountains now because there's a zone wall just on that ridge. So when you do group up with people, well, actually don't bring anyone into your clan. You don't know who you're bringing in. If they're close friends, bring them in. But if you've got friends on, use Skype. So you can have... Sorry, they've implemented a wolf sound around here recently. It's a bit disturbing. There's 3. I can make a run for it. Yeah, I think you can have multiple people on one phone call. But they do have a TeamSpeak server. If I remember to talk about it, I'll put an annotation on it at the bottom of the screen. TeamSpeak can be very complex for the uninitiated. You go on the forums, the WarZ forums, type in TeamSpeak 3. You should be sent to their site. It'll tell you how to hook up. Look just like a zombie, just there. It is. I can see his white arm. Been brought up from Emerald Camp or Emerald Park Retreat, Peak Retreat. Right, I can actually see there's a light through the trees then. It's actually not that close, it's actually quite a distance off. It's the safe zone. Oh gosh, there we go. There was only 3 of us on a minute ago. Still people with stupid names. You have to be careful coming in and going out of safe zones. Don't go in if someone's following you. Don't go out if someone's following you. Scan the tree line, because bandits love to camp safe zones. Because normally when you go in there, you've got stuff worth looting. Try and find a path around which most people wouldn't want to do. It's a bit longer. Like, try and come from the mountain section just by the B in Blue Ridge. Because that's where the snipers would be. You got a chance of coming up behind them. If they're not there, oh well, good. And if you think you're getting close, my last bit of advice is sprint. There's no way I want to lose these 3 M16s. There's a guy out there I've been watching on YouTube, which it's granted it's for DayZ, but he says put your weapon on the ground when he sees people immediately, and they do, just so they can't shoot him. In this game it's a bit more difficult because remember you get a swap. But at least if they swap, then you know they're hostile. But that's sometimes a good tactic. Oh, one tactic I haven't told you about is the flashlight. I've told you, don't shine it in people's eyes. They'll shoot you if you do. But if they are trying to shoot you, shine it in their eyes. Put on a rifle or a pistol flashlight to help you. Because what it does is, it obscures your character a lot. And I mean a lot. So it's good to get out of sticky situations. If you can shine it in their eyes, you can get out the way and then quickly run for it once you're in cover. I don't like just staying at the edge because I don't know if you can get shot when you're in here and they're not. I'd rather not take that chance. Still, as with everything else, find cover. Because the next time I need to go out, I need to go raiding, so I'm going to go up north again. So try and get yourself in position for that. Make it easier for yourself next time you log on. Because in here, I'm pressing my left mouse button now, you can probably hear it. Nothing's happening. Can't even zoom in. Can't even wield my hammer. Oh, bother. That's one thing without having proximity chat, you forget what's going on. But at least I'm logging off in a minute. I think he must have died when he first came on. There we go. Right. Should be able to log off now. Lie down. Quit. Always be careful of your feet when you lie down, because your feet can actually stick through things, and people can shoot you through them. well, they can shoot your feet when they stick out, and it does hurt. Right, now we're there. Sorry about this. Right, now we're there. I'm going to put those in my inventory. If you have a lot of weapons in here, you're throwing them in. You have a couple of pistols, and you may have a bigger backpack. You could possibly justify giving out one of your pistols to yourself, but since I've got no room, there's no point. Right, there's no point me taking painkillers at the moment. I'm not going to take any antibiotics. Take 3 of those. I need to take some water because I was down on water, so I've got myself that. I'll take the vest off, take the helmet off, so I look like a noob spawn. That should be about it. As you see, I'm getting a nice amount up now. And weapons. That's definitely raiding. I could do a raid now. Got 4 M16s now, which is good. Unlocks. It's getting nice and neat. There we go. Excellent. Well, thank you very much all for watching The Survivors. This was Corithwin, a bit of a longer one than I expected, but hopefully the information will keep you safer. And as you can tell, a little bit of creativity, you can get around any zombie. So, thank you very much, Survivors. This is Corithwin at MythTracker, and this was WarZ. You keep safe. Don't be a bandit. Bye for now.